Alrighty. We exist. We are vibing. I know right now we're on the art screen and it says we're in Makers. We are going to switch over to physical when I get this all done. But today we're working on badges for the twin suits. The twin suits, their full suits are completely done. They have all of their details. Aside from some removable eyelids that I may or may not do later, I'm kind of like, I don't really care if I get those done. Those are kind of like a whatever kind of deal, you know? Like, it's not, I don't wear eyelids a lot on my suits. I don't particularly care for them. It is, you know, they just kind of exist. Plus they block your vision, and I don't like having my vision fucking blocked out the ass, so I might end up not making them just because I don't feel like it, and I probably will never use them. But they do have everything else completely done. They're fully done. I'll have hopefully some photos posted soon, if not also from the con, because I plan on getting some really nice photos from the con. So in the meantime, hopefully we can get this done before the con. We're gonna code and program some badges. What size is my... This is a 5x7, okay. I need this to scale up. This is going to be the 900s badge. Which we've been having a lot of debate about how to actually name the characters, because I feel like just calling them Connor, first off, they're both technically Connor. You know, if you know anything about the game, you know about the RK800 and the RK900. But I also don't want to just keep calling them RK900, RK800, because technically, these are completely different androids. These are furry androids, so we've settled on calling them the ERS 800 and 900s, which is a reference to the Aibo models for the little Aibo dogs, because I am a sucker for the originals. You exist! Why are we screaming? Look at that little dinosaur go. Look at him go. So we've settled on calling them the ERS 800, 900, and we're just going to refer to them as 800 and 900 for short. Because that's essentially what they are. They are the 800 and the 900 models of whatever the fuck they are at the end of the day. So my only real issue is that I may have fucked up. And this image originally, I can actually, full transparency. Very nice image, very pretty, right? It's originally just an art piece. It's not actually meant to be a badge, but I really like it. So I'm going to turn it into a badge because I said so. So I have to make space up here for a badge clip, which is easy enough. I just have to remember to actually fucking do it. So we're just going to kind of... I don't know how to draw a square, apparently. Hold on. Oh, because I'm stupid, that's why. What is this? Artwork, no stitches. Okay, cool. Well, I have decided stitches. Can I zoom? Why is my zoom not working? Ah, because it's on the wrong setting. I still can't zoom. Why not? Ah, this is dumb. It might just be the art program, though. What's this? This is the program. This is actually, this program is called Brilliance. And this is what I use to code the stitching for my embroidery machine. So I still have to draw the images, and I still have to actually code all of the stitching into a badge to make an embroidered badge. So this is how I do that, because I'm a madman. But we need to measure? No. This. Okay, so this is telling us how big this actually is, and we need it to be like tall. We need it to be at least like 0.25 inches, and then width we need it to be a little over half an inch. So we're gonna say like 0.65, right? I don't know what I usually do for the badge clips, to be honest. I'm going to double check that. I'm going to measure a clip just to make sure. Just to make sure. Here, clip. Because I do occasionally have issues where I don't do it nice, and that's a problem. I need a measure stick. I need... Hold on. Hold on. Ah. Okay, I've got a badge clip and I've got a measuring tape, so I can actually make sure that this is, in fact, how big of a hole I'm going to need for it to clip onto like a lanyard or something. A badge clip is just under 1/2 inch wide, so we can actually change this width to... Oh, is it locked? I don't want it locked. Okay, width. 2.5. So 1/2 inch is plenty. And then height, we can go as far as 1/2 inch. So 1/4 inch is plenty thick, but then that means we can't have more than 1/4 inch above it, because it'll be really big. I think I am going to make that slightly bigger, and we're going to say 1/3 inch. Oh, that's weird. 5/16, not 1/3. There we go. Just so that way, you know, we have a nice little grippy grip spot for our badge, and this should fit it fairly nicely. I do want to change... I can't round the corners on this. Oh, that's stupid. This is dumb. That sucks. Alright, let's do this then. I'm going to go like this. Does it look like shit? Yes. That's besides the point, though. Look at that! Oh, that's so silly. Alright. And then I'm just gonna do some touchy-uppies. And this will make it look nicer and also, you know, be rounded. If I tell it to fill, will it? There we go. You two are do things. What things are you two do? There we go, come on. And then that is a much nicer shape. Just in general. Eeh. Eeh. So then we can delete that one. Chicken coop, hell yeah. Bitches love chicken coop. This is not horizontal. There we go. I still feel like this side is bigger than this side. Like just a little bit taller for some reason. There we go. So now that should be a nice decent loop. And then I'm going to... Oh, this is gonna be a pain in my ass. Alright. Because we don't really have like a background for this guy. I need to move this. So I'm going to kind of... I like this blue background, but I didn't make it to, you know, work for a badge. So we're kind of going with vibes, I guess is how I put it. and we'll adjust it later. Like, I don't like the difference in whatever we have going on here. So, well, that's because there's 80,000 fucking... The hard part is I have no real way to make this, like, symmetrical. Because this doesn't actually have a border to it. I'll pull that out just a little bit. There we go. And then this we're gonna... just so that way those match a little bit more. Huzzah! And then I hate whatever this ear is fucking doing. I did too many dots and now it's making stupid shapes. There we go, that's a lot better. The fewer dots you do, the easier it is to get a smooth flowing shape for what you actually want. Like so. And then I'm actually going to raise this just a smidge, because then that'll give us room for our satin stitches on the edges, which this is going to be our nice little border. I do debate what I'm actually going to do for the satin stitch, if I'm going to make it the same color as the background or not. That is the real question here. So we have our runs. Now, I have to work out how I'm doing the background and everything, and that's going to be a pain in my ass. Because essentially we have to go like this, right? And we want a little bit of overlap everywhere. Just a little bit. Except for right where the blue fabric is going to be, because I don't want it to be super thick under there. But if we don't draw a little bit of overlap in our coding when we're doing this, we'll end up with a badge that has gapping between the stitching, and you'll see the background material through it, which we definitely do not want. So I always like to go just inside the line work or on the line work if I can, because we also don't want an ass load of overlap, because that will essentially lead to super thick spots on the badge that the machine won't really be able to embroider through, and that in and of itself is a problem. And now we get to go back around and follow our outline, which this doesn't have to be super exact right here because we'll come back and fix that. I can't exactly pause and get rid of that point until after I've done the entire outline, so we'll worry about that in half a second. But yeah, it's... the border is going to surround this outline, so it'll come a little bit outside it and a little bit inside it when we do our satin border. So as long as it goes underneath our satin border, we are golden. Which means if I line it right up with it, we're smack dab in the middle of it. Which will also make our badge more durable around the edges. And now we're going to tell it to fill. Oh, it's going to think really hard. There we go. Alright. We're going to get rid of this point like we were talking about earlier. Get out of here. Get out of here. It's thinking so hard to do all of this. My computer is not happy to have to do all of this at the same time. Oop. There we go. So now, does it look weird? Yes, but this is our background. So at the end of the day, it's going to look great. I don't think this is the color I want to go with, though. I'm gonna save. Saving it as ERS 900. Save. Which, that is another thing. He does not have a name. I mean, he does have a name, but it's not on his badge. So we're gonna have to actually put text in here later. Once when we decide what font. Well, I know what font we want. Once we figure out how to do that font, I should say. I'm also going to adjust that to be a little bit wider. And the reason for that is because we don't want our satin stitch to actually be too thick, because like I said, it goes on both sides of the line here. So if it comes in here, then our inside square is actually going to be smaller than what we started out with, which is no bueno. There we go. It is struggle bus, and I tell you what. Color. Prussian blue, huh? Well, we're gonna go with light blue, because that's closer to what the background looked like. And I will state specifically for this. The colors on here are not gonna look the same as the stitching I'm going to end up doing for the entire badge. I'm going to change the direction. Actually, I want to see what kind of patterns we have. Do we have anything? We have diamonds. Diamond 1. I was hoping there'd be triangles. There is not triangles. There are these diamonds, though, which don't look bad. Sometimes. Diamond 2. Okay, diamond 2's not bad. Diamond 3. I think I like diamond 2 the best. The real problem is we have areas over here like this that just stitch out really funky. And a lot of that's just, you know, you have to adjust for the stitch you're doing, you know. Oh. There we go. It's got to think really hard about all of this. And then also we are going to change our density. We don't want 17, we want 32. Perfect. Because otherwise, I can show you, we'll get these red spots here, and we don't want that this early on. That is a problem. We also need to pay attention to where our stop and start points are. Whoa, that is... whatever the fuck that was, that's not what I was trying to do here. There we go. But so this is our end point, right? Which we don't really want on the same spot as our start point. In fact, actually, because this should start on this side around, we're gonna have it come back and end over on this side, and that should hopefully fix a lot of the issues we were seeing visibly. Except here, except whatever the fuck's going on there. Let's see what happens if we make this vertical, right? If we change our diamonds to a more vertical pattern. Because essentially what these lines are is the badge backtracking on itself. So if we put this at the furthest right point and this at the furthest left point, we should hopefully get a badge that looks a bit better. It's not. So let's try this. Okay. It's a very weird shape, so it's kind of difficult to get it to behave nice for us. I also kind of want to set my badge up for success because all of our fur direction is going to be going mostly vertical. So if we can go horizontal, that's even better. Oh my god, that is awful. Don't do whatever that was. Good lord. It is thinking very hard right now about how to do this. Okay, see, and then just a lot of our issues are at the very top of the badge, which maybe... See what happens if we go like this. If we make it start at the bottom and end at the bottom, we still just get our really weird issues up at the top here that we don't want. So... how can we fix this? It might just be a case of get rid of any overlapping areas here because it's essentially trying to stitch them all as one thing rather than stitching around and coming back. Oh my god. My computer is lagging so hard right now trying to run this shit. I'm getting like half a stitch done a second. Let me close the music for a second. Task manager, what do we got going on, buddy? 96%. 65, that's much better. Okay, so now my computer hopefully won't have a stroke every 5 seconds. Although the program is still, whew, struggle busting. Whose child is this? Is it yours? It's yours. Okay, cool. Oh my god. Don't be a little shit. Just get out of here. I have never had this program struggle this much in its life. Alright, let's see if that helps. Yeah, see, that seemed to help a lot just by separating that little area. So we really just need to do the same right here. There's just a tidbit. Now this does mean we might get a little bit of gappage, which I am not a fan of. But we're going to see if we can't get them as close together as possible without getting that crossover that we were getting before that we didn't like. And also most of this is going to be covered by this and, you know, other stitching, so it'll be mostly hidden anyway. Yeah, see, because that looks That looks a lot better just right there. I don't mind this little line because that's going to get covered by a satin stitch later. But up here, most of like this section and this section is not going to be covered. Most of that entire section should be covered. But we want the parts that are pretty to look good, and we know it's caused by this area. So... come on, give me that. There we go. Ba-da-da. Na 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 na. There we go. I wish it would let me finish, like, adjusting each stitch before it got really weird about it. You know, like it's just so weird. Alright, so now if we zoom back out, yeah, that looks a hell of a lot better than it did. We do still have a little bit of a weird line here and here from the tops of the ears, but there's not a whole lot we can do about that. We could try changing the type of stitch again. Let's try diamond 3 and see what difference that makes. Okay, okay. Diamond 1. Diamond 1 doesn't even look like a diamond from this far away. So, diamond 2. Nice, nice. Diamond 3. And you know, I actually kind of like diamond 3 better. It's a bit more square. And I wish we had a triangle pattern similar to the diamond pattern, but we just don't. Which is unfortunate. But so now if we first off we're gonna save. Because my computer is struggle busting to do just this section here. We're barely even started. Let's see what the playback looks like. So we have our outlines, right? And now it's going to go back and it's going to do the infill. So it's doing the outline for that, and it's doing the fill lines all the way around. Which, to be honest, I feel like this is a lot of fill lines. I thought, what happens if I change it to 30? Is 30 even tighter? Or is that looser? I forget which way it goes. Oh, that's even tighter. We don't want that. We want looser, please. 32 is good. And all those numbers decide is just how frequently these vertical and bars happen. The higher the number, the further apart these vertical stitching gets, and the closer, the more dense. And that helps keep your stitches from being loose and floppy, because we don't want loose and floppy. Which sounds weird to say out loud, but you know. I don't like this spot right here, because that's not lining up very well. That's a pretty big gap compared to the initial line there. There we go. Now we just have to decide what color we're actually doing next, and I think we're gonna do the eye color, which I don't know how to. No, that's no, just no. Oh, well, now everybody's hidden. We don't want that. How do I undo it? Oh, good lord. What if I lock, unlock, lock, unlock, lock, unlock? There we go. Now it's just that big one that's hidden. No, the eyes are a distinctly different color from the background, because the background color is the same as this, which is more of a teal. Let me see if I can't change this to more of like a greenish teal color. I hate the options that I have on this list. Where's my bro thread? No, that's brother flesh tone. Bro thread. There we go. Because this is the actual thread brand that I use, is bro thread. Yeah, let's say sky. That's so green. Why is that so green? The colors do not show up well in this program. We'll say it's baby blue, right? We'll say that this and this is baby blue. And then we're going to do his nose and his ears in metallic fabric, actually. So... Oh, I debate if I want to stitch that down first or not. And then his eyes are going to be that very light blue. So... Let's do his eyes and his ears and nose. We'll do these as his eyes as a fill stitch, and his ears and nose as an outline stitch for tacking down the fabric. Except I do want there to be a pause for me to applicate them. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Zoom. Fill. There we go. And this one is going to be pale sky, I guess, because that's what we have for our color options on the list. We're gonna copy it. We're gonna copy. We're gonna paste. We're going to reflect, and we're going to drag, because that'll make my life easier. We're also going to change this to tatami, because that's our pretty standard stitch patterning. We have no reason to do funky patterning for the eyeballs. We will also keep the stitching horizontal. Although I have not considered that we do have to do the white before we do this blue, which also... What are we doing here with this start and stop? That's better. Alright, move your stop to the corner. So actually we're gonna do... Oh lord. Okay. I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna have to switch colors a few different times, but it'll be alright. We are going to stitch the outlines of our ears first. And this can be exact because the fabric is going to be outside of this stitching. So we can stitch this down pretty exact, especially around that top edge of the ear. We're just going to call that a running stitch. And then we're going to copy paste, and we're going to reflect, and we're going to drag. So that way our earsies are identical. Except this guy, we do want his corner to be a bit more in the corner. Oh my god, he's dancing. Okay. There we go. Much better. And that will stick down the metallic fabric for our ears. And this will stitch down the fabric for the nose. I'm gonna let that be a running stitch. There we go. Nice. So that's that done. We don't have his triangle on his chest, unfortunately, but that's okay because this is all going to get covered with text, which I should actually figure out before I do any of that. But all that's going to happen before the eye pieces happen, because we're going to stitch down our fabric and then we're going to do all of our white sections for anything else. So let me open Photoshop. The computer's going to struggle bus real hard, but we're going to make it happen. We're going to file, save. Oh, I did things to it. And Brilliance is not responding. Oh, thank God. Come here, you. And then I'm actually going to close it because Photoshop will have a stroke otherwise. And we're going to open Photoshop. I'm just going to make like a small text file. If it loads, it's going to take it a minute because my computer is struggling. Oh, it's thinking so hard. Come on, you can do it. I don't care if it's unreviewed. Okay, so new file. Oh my God. Hey, you're back. Hooray. Don't worry, my computer is struggle busing. Don't I have a 5x7 in here somewhere? Yeah. 5x7. Create. Oh God, my phone's not doing any better than my computer today. Good Lord. Let's see what fonts we have. Because I don't think we necessarily have... Someone said Avenir was close, which we do not have. And Gotham is what's actually used. We have Gothic, but we don't have Gotham. Let me see. Without my incredible existence. Exactly. Let me see if I can't... download the font. From a website that's not... It's not dumb. La di da di da, la di da di da di da di da. Okay, so someone said... Oh, god damn it. Avenir Light. Gotham is what's used on the main title. Really? We're doing Arial Narrow? I have Arial. Arial Narrow. Why are we way over there? What is happening right now? Stop it. Stop making fonts. We're gonna... Does that look stupid right now? Yes. Is it in the very bad color? Also, yes. And then we're gonna make this specific section narrow bold. Yeah. And this is literally all I need for stitching. Dude, yeah, sure. Just stop it. Stop being a little shit. There we go. Because I'm not going to do anything fancy with it. We're just going to do some block white text, I think is what we're going to do. We could put a little box around it if we wanted to. We could go like head. It doesn't help that it's fucking green. There we go. The color doesn't matter. It's future me's problem. What is happening? There's so many windows popping up everywhere, Photoshop. Stop it. Get some help. There we go. So good news, bad news. You like the box? Okay, is that the bad news or the good news? Maybe a clear box. Well, it's not going to be this color. Don't worry. Oh, what is happening? It's going to be like a light gray. We're going to go for the lightest gray on the character. And then the font is not going to be green. It is probably going to be blue. What if I did the font the metallic blue? That would be such a pain in the ass. We're not doing that. We're probably going to leave the font either white or blue. Let's export it. Export as. And image. Sure, PNG is fine. I don't give a shit. Just export it. It's going to crunch up on me a little bit probably. But, you know. Oh, wait. God damn it. Let's get rid of the background. No, stop. Hey. I said cancel. Cancel saving it. Good news. Okay. What's your bad news? Are you dying? Is it cancer? Did you tear another hamstring? How many hams could you possibly have? And how many strings are attached to them? Alright, now we can get out of here. No. Reopen in Brilliance. No, wait, I messed up. Oh, no! It's not a good day for us, Amber. Terrible day, even. And we're going to reopen. Good news, part 1. The coop is halfway done. Okay, well, that's good. I like that. There's a part 2? I like a part 2. I don't know if this is the working or the stitching file. This is the working file. Okay. Image. Bad news part 1. Took a chunk. But don't do that! Don't do that! Why is there chunks coming out of your fingy? And then this is way too big, so we're gonna scale it. Scale it. Too small. There we go. Which then also means I have to adjust my fill stitch because there's no reason for that to be the way that it is. if there's gonna be more stitching right here. Also, can we center it? Oh, god damn it. Thank you for the follow. Can we move this? Can we move it down? Oh, god damn it. No, move it down. There we go. I want it centered, but I want it lowered. Yeah. 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 Bad news part 2. A steak? Why do you need a steak? Not even dinner time. Oh god, it's having a stroke. There we go. Adjusting. Hello, hello. We are working on some embroidered badges today, and currently we are trying to code them for the embroidery machine, but eventually we'll get it done and finished so we can actually physically embroider it today. It's close enough. What do you mean it's close enough? What's close enough? I am good. I am vibing. Very tired. We're getting ready for con time because we have 3 days until the con, and I would like to get badges done in time for the con to go with the new suits. Oh my god, it's still saving. Oh god, please save. It's not responding. Oh no. Don't crash. Please don't crash. Oh no. Thank you, thank you. Steak for dinner. Okay. I wasn't sure if we were talking like a meat steak or like a murder steak, you know? It's 2 very different steaks. 2 very different steaks at stake. Haha. Don't let me say things ever again, please. And we're just gonna do the whites of our eyes that are currently not white. Listen, man, I don't know what you're getting up to over there. It could have been a murder steak. Maybe you were gonna murder the chicken. Chicken nuggies. I don't know about you, but I really like me some chicken nuggies. Color. White. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to copy paste. Then we're going to flip. And we're going to drag. This is the nice part about a symmetrical badge like this, is I really can just boom, 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 boom. The convention is soon. It is this weekend, actually. So I have very little time. Very, very little time. But we're working on it. We're getting there. We're getting stuff done. A lot of last minute crunching, because of course it is. It is Motor City FurCon. And it is in Detroit this year at the Renaissance Center. So I'm very, very excited. I'm going to fill. We're going to change it back to white because apparently we're deciding to be stupid. We're going to copy, paste, flip, drag. Aww. That's alright. There's always next year. There's always next year. That's what I always say. It's like, I don't get to go to cons often. This is a local con to me. You're Australian, good lord. Yeah, you're definitely gonna miss it. It's a bit of a flight, I would think. Very expensive flight for just a little con. This con is not very big. This con only sees less than 3,000 people every year. Very local, very small in Detroit. But I am going to FWA in May, which is in Atlanta, Georgia. And they see closer to like 15,000 a year. So it's only 8:40. Good lord, that's early. It's 5 p.m. here. It's actually dinner time, but don't tell my dogs that. They will get very excited. And then we're going to have a problem because they're going to really, really, really want me to feed them. Like assholes. An ad break, huzzah. Oh, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Okay, this is gonna drive me nuts. I'm just gonna move the eyeballs later, because I like to do all my colors. Oh God, where did that come from? That's not what I wanted. That's not what you like to see. I'm gonna fill. Yeah, see, this is what is happening here. No, get out of there. There we go. We're also going to adjust that. We're going to change the color again. Not silver gray, we want white. No! No! There we go. I'm just going to do the same white for his eyes that I'm going to do for the rest of him. Normally, his ears are more of a cool white and his eyes are like a true white, but I'm not doing all that thread switching for some ears, you know? Like, that's a bit much. That's a lot of work that I don't feel like doing. So we're just gonna not, actually. Hi, Quinn! Welcome in. We're making a badge for the 900 suit currently. And in a minute, we'll hopefully be making one for the 800 as well, but I have to actually draw the entirety of that, and my computer is not cooperating today. So that's going to be 50-50, I think. I am going further into the stitching. Oh, you're in high school. See, I'm old, so I don't have high school. I have this, which is my entire job, is just furry stuff. I make fursuits. I make badges. This is my job. This is my life. It's all I do. All year round. So I have time for cons. I just don't have the money. That's my big hindrance. That explains why you're up so early then. If you got school. Been sleeping all day and I just woke up from a nap. Well, good morning. Hope you had a nice nap. Lucky. You say that, but I live in the grand old US of A, and I would not consider that lucky. Hate to tell you. This job, it does not pay well, unfortunately. Yeah, good luck, have fun at school, get your edumacations, do your learnings. Don't be too distracted. What is going on over here? Alright, are we done with that? Is that actually loading? There we go. Okay, cool. It's very hard to keep track of the stitching on this. I'm gonna do... Actually, can I... Oh, I can't, because they actually... Oh, I'm gonna do... Get out of here, line. There we go. We're gonna take this. Guys, watch this. Watch this magic. Copy, paste, flippies. Hoa! Look at me go. Woo! Thank you for the check-in. There we go. And that's that. Now I just gotta do these pieces, which... honestly, I could probably do them as one giant stitched piece. And I am going to go outside hydrate. I have a Coke today, so it's not very hydrating, but I will have it if you give me half a second. Shoopity, 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 wah, wah. And I am going outside this shape just because this is going to be our overlap for the other colors around it. Fill. And we're going to make this our stop. We're going to make this our start. And hopefully that... Oh, no, it does create a stupid shape. Okay, what if this is our start? No. What if this? Well, what if I just go die in a hole then? Okay. I'll make it two separate pieces. What if I do this? No. That changes nothing. God damn it. Okay. Huzzah! Oh yeah, sippy for the Coke. The dentist does suck. I have to go to the dentist tomorrow to get a filling. Because apparently I don't brush my back tooth enough. So now it's got another small cavity that they want to nip in the bud while it's still early. And we're going to do that. And then also, actually, swoop, swoop. We're going to go like that. Yeah. I haven't been, I haven't been doing my directionals on any of my stitching for like this, because like this guy, his directional should not be sideways, it should be vertical. Which then of course changes where we want to start and stop our stitching. Same for this. Vertical, vertical. And that's why we did the background horizontally, because if we do everything, if all of our stitching is going in the exact same direction, it will cause essentially squish and, like, I forget what it's called. It's like stretch and pull or something like that. But it will cause the entire badge to warp as it stitches, because all the fabric is going to be pulled inwards horizontally if all of your stitching is horizontally, and then it gets fucked up. Whereas if you have more variety in the directions that your stitching is going, for example, this guy is going to be going at like this kind of an angle because that's the angle that the fur is going at. So if we do this, then we have stitching going this way, we have stitching going this way, we have stitching going this way. It's a lot of variety in the tension that is put on the fabric, which will keep it from stretching funky as much. Which, you know, is a bonus. Okay, we don't want that. How about this? No, we don't want that either. Okay, what if we just did this? No? Oh, what the fuck is happening here? Zoom, zoom, zoom. That's much better. There we go. That one looks great. So now all of our stuff has a bit more of a direction to it, which is nice. I think I'm gonna do my medium gray that the face and neck mostly is, and then we'll go back over with the darker grays for that, and we'll do... Oh, I debate what color I actually want to do the background, because we're going to do... Oh, our white. I forgot. We're going to do our text white, too. So... I'm kind of debating how I want to do the text, because I can't tell if I should maybe give myself stitches. Give yourself stitches! I think if you think you can give yourself stitches, you should maybe, not. I think maybe you should go to urgent care and get some stitches. What the fuck, Amber? Stop that! You have before... Amber! No! Good lord, buddy! You're gonna give me a heart attack. No wonder Mom's gonna have a heart attack. No wonder she's going gray. Don't tell her I said that. She'll be big angry with me. She'll be like, I am not going gray. And we'll be like, yes, you are. Don't lie. I swear, you're just casually over here committing war crimes every second you get. Yeah, you do get lots of ouchies and not lots of paychecks, but that's what insurance is for. You're telling me you don't have insurance? Buddy? Is Buddy telling me Buddy doesn't have insurance? I don't know how because the muzzle is darker, but I don't want to... I'm going to go like this, I think, because I think this is going to be the best way to stitch out these sections, because I also have to go around the eyes and such. La 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 la. La 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 la. Buddy has insurance, but regular urgent care visit is still like 40 bucks. Okay, that's fair. That's fair, I guess. And I think we're going to do this as a satin stitch too, later on when we get to that. Okay, guys, good lord. I don't know what the dogs are up to, but they sure are. Children! Thank you. Okay, there is an error right here. I don't like that. I don't like that there's... The blue isn't too bad. This is bad, and this is bad. So we're gonna fix that. Whoa, it's still white. That's funny. But I'm actually going to do a little bit more overlap on this particular stitch. And we're going to change this because it's going to drive me nuts to, what is this, like this is just gray. Cool. That is green, my good man. That is not a gray. That is fucking green. What about brother? Olive green, yeah, thanks. Pewter. Pewter, can you hear me? Gray. Dark gray. Gray. Anyway. Oh god, the stitching on this is gonna drive me nuts. Change our directionals, because it's very important, very important. That looks better. I've gone twice in the past 2 weeks already. Yeah, that's expensive. That sucks. Yikes-a-rooney. Children, if you do not stop with whatever nonsense you are up to, give me like 30 seconds, guys. Good lord. This, I don't know what this is doing, but this needs to... you know, be in the eyebrow a bit more. I don't actually mind that we didn't get this eyebrow hollowed out over here, because that's the only thing that's going to be stitched on top. We can do up to 3 layers, and we're going to have dark and then an outline. So, I don't mind that we didn't get this eyebrow cut out, but since we're going around all this anyway, and there's going to be way more outlines here, I would like that this is not covered. And then same for the light, because we can go over it again. At least once. Just once. La 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 la. It's just gonna drive me nuts. Where is these? I'm actually going to bring these down a bit as well. Down and in, because I would really like to make sure that these get stitched properly when we, because like it's gonna get overlapped, so that's fine as long as it's stitched. There we go. And then this guy is gonna get a full satin stitch over top of him, so I'm not too worried about that. We'll straight up just copy this line and do stuff and things. Maybe you do need a 30-minute nap. I've heard that 20 minutes is honestly enough to feel refreshed, so maybe you just need 20, you know? You know what, actually, I think I will do this darker color, like the muzzle color, and then I'll do the text in white, and we'll see how that looks and how I like that. La 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 la. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm picturing in my head right now. That is the audio that is in my noggin. So that's what we've got going on. La 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 la. It is in fact stuck in my nog. Boop. Boop. I'm just gonna key points for this one. So don't mind the fact that it looks a little funky. Because here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this, right? We're gonna swoopa. And we're gonna swoopa. And look at that. Bam! Perfect line. That. Swoopa. You should also be the way that you are. Why? 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 Hold on, I'm having a stroke. It is hidden perfectly under the color of the fucking fabric. That is the stupidest thing ever. Okay, there we go. That way we can get our nice curves and our nice points. See, because we do that. We bring this in. We do this. Bring that down. Where is your point? Right there. I'm gonna bring that in a little bit more. There we go. And ta-da! Ta-da! Vertical. Oh, what in the world? What is this? What is this about? Okay, what if I do this? No, that is worse. Somehow I've made it worse. Okay. See, now this is the thing I don't like, is whatever's happening with the stitching here, that is going to drive me nuts. I know for a fact it's going to drive me nuts. What if we do it like this? Oh, but that's gonna look like shit. That's gonna look like shit. Okay, new plan. Eyebrow. Gone. It's gonna be a little thick right there, but that's okay. We can live with that. This is going to help the stitching be less stupid. See, so now all we have is whatever the fuck's going on here and here, which I don't really know what is going on that eye. I think it's because there's overlap, probably, right here, it looks like. Yeah, there's overlap here, so it's doing some weird shit. I just need you to stop saying odd shit. There we go. And I don't care if that meets up because that's going to get a line directly over it, so that works out perfectly fine. Nope, we're still doing weird shit. Okay, cool. Why? I wonder if it's because... Here, let's do this. Oh, what the fuck? Stop that. Come up here. Right? Why are we all twisty? Knock it off. Forest bud, shush. So now it's a bit more vertical. That helped nothing, actually. That didn't do shit. Cool. What if I tell it to end here? That made everything way worse. Oh. What if I start it here? Nope, that's still a line there. This might be one of the few times where I break the rules of fur direction. Normally faces are broken up a bit more by colors, right? But he's got a very solid colored face. So there's not a whole lot for me to do about it. Well, I gotta feed the dogs real quick. They're starving to death. There you go, children. Children have been fed. Alright. I still don't know. Because my biggest issue is this line right here. I don't care too much about that, and I don't care too much about that. It's this line that is an issue. Which I don't know if... But then we just get the line over there. Well, if we start over here... Right? No. What if we start up here? No, that makes it worse. What if we start down here? Here? Either way, we're getting some weird vertical line around the eyes, because that's how they be. I don't really want to split it down the middle and have a line right in the middle, but then we'd have fur direction going at angles. Which is better. But still not what I want. We could also... Oop. I don't know what I just did, but I need to stop that. We go pure horizontal here. That's not pure horizontal. That's... fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit. And then if we go way up to the top... and way down to the bottom, we can see what that does. But then we get even worse stuff going on, so I don't even want that. Wow, there really is just no good way to do this. What if we do make these overlap? What if we do make this a really good connection? So what I'm hearing is either way, we're fucked with that vertical line. The real question is, which side of the noggin do we want it on? Thick. Oh, my music isn't playing. You know, I had music earlier, and this thing was lagging so bad that I had to turn it off. So there is no tunes today, unfortunately. This does need to come down a bit more, though, because that's not tight enough. Oh, I'm doing things by mistake. Whoopsie doodles. There we go. Same with this. We don't want whatever's going on there to be going on there. See, now, here's the thing. When you zoom in, it looks really nice, right? Like, this looks great. The thing is I know from experience that it's not going to look like that. You're going to see this line. It's going to be very obvious, and I fucking hate it. I hate it so much. And it all just depends on where that end point is in relation to it. So what if I stick it up here in the corner? No, that's not it. This corner. No. It has to be all the way at an edge in order to prevent whatever is going on there. Cool. I think this is the best. Oh, wait, what? Okay, it's gonna have to be on this side, because stitching. I could also try a different texture stitch, not that I really want to. Length limit. Oh god, that's ugly. Brick? Nope. Texture? No. Basket. I don't really like... What is this? Adjust pull compensation. Adjust the pattern. Oh, I see where that's to... Okay. Whoa, look at that. That's funky. That's good if you want like a character with a lot of wrinkles. Interesting. That is so weird. Anchor? No, that's worse. Pattern. I like pattern because then it actually shows the pattern it's supposed to have. Can I put it down? What do you mean put it down? Put down where? Like, because it's all within this shape. This color is separate. We're just gonna, you know. Yes, like a Sphinx suit, dude. It would be perfect for a Sphinx badge. That's exactly what I'm picturing. The direction is down. The direction is vertical. But we want to go around this. And then whoop, whoop, fill. Cool. I'm actually gonna bring, yeah, see, because what is that? What is that? Stop that. Get out of there. Get some help. This guy. Pointy, pointy, point. Broccoli. No, that's because that's not the fucking... That's not the one I'm looking at. No. There we go. Yeah, there we go. It's a much nicer curve. Huzzah! Stitching! Actually, I kind of wonder, can I copy paste and flip for this piece? Oh, nearly almost. That's alright. That'll make it a lot easier to adjust it. Because then all I have to do is bring these in a little bit. Oh god, damn it. I want this one. Dog's over here smacking his lips, driving me nuts. Alright. And this needs to be adjusted. I think I sat it too far to the left is what happened. Oh well. It's not too hard to adjust our points, so. Because yeah, this originally went all the way here. Oh, and we still got burp, 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 2 little triangles down here I gotta do. Blam. Copy, paste, flip. Blam. Did you seriously not copy, paste, flip? Copy, paste, flip. There we go. Blam. Cause yeah. Oh, but then that means this whole box is gonna be the same color. I don't really have any. I might make the box blue. I could do the metallic blue fabric for this. But then I have to put it down first. Which then means my stitching has to be exact. But it would mean it's less bulky here. What do we think? Metallic blue with white text? I kind of like that, though. Oh. God damn it, now I have to modify everything. Bingus, don't be making throwy-uppy noises. Please don't be making throwy-uppy noises. That'll be very upsetty spaghetti. This is why we don't speed eat our dinners. Gross, babe. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Except this box overlaps with... My snake is asking me for Din Din, and it's kind of freak. Why would that freak you out? The snake is hungry. Why would the snake being hungry freak you out? He's just hungry. He's a hungry little baby. And then tomorrow I can power work. That is true. You could always just power work tomorrow. But that also does, you know, believe that you're going to feel better tomorrow, which is debatable. As much as I am, you know, you shouldn't work while you're sick type deal. Sometimes you have to work while you're sick, and that fucking sucks. I think I'm gonna do the black outline all the way around the edge of this box too. So we'll do an outline satin stitch on this, which will be cool. Which then does mean, actually, that I don't have to do a second stitching of white. I can just do this over. Oh god, not that fat, not that fat. Just 1 millimeter, please. Thank you. Good lord. We're gonna copy paste. Paste. There we go. Oh, that was too far to the left. We're gonna switch the order of these. Oh, cool. Now I have to do all the work of scooting these up. Yeah, that's a lot better. I like to alternate them when it's on text like this, because then it gives you more more space before it tries to... Oh my god, why? Why so fat? Because like here, right? It starts here, stops here, but then it just has to go straight here, and that's usually not enough distance for it to want to cut the thread, which I do not like. I, to be honest, thought I had changed that at some point, but I don't remember. I don't know. Cool, sure, why not? Satin border, look at that. Guys, look at that art! Dude, I can make a font just out of the stupidity that is lines. Oh, that's hilarious. I love that. That is the best thing I've done all day. R. Okay, hold on. I need to pay attention to this. Needs to swap with this because we can go from this. Now I'm gonna swap the ends that it starts and stops at though, because then I go here and it'll stop here, and then it'll jump all the way here. Which I also want to swap these so that way the vertical line on the R is stitched after the leg of the R, just so it looks nicer. Is it backwards technically? Yes. Oh god, we do not need parallels and zigzags on these. Edge run is fine, but we do not need parallels. So essentially what this does, so it's a satin stitch, right? It's going hundreds of stitches. A parallel will run along the edge of the stitching first, which is not great. Like if we look at this one, I guess you can't really see it because there's nothing to see. And then a zigzag will do extra like crossy stitches before it goes and does all that, which is great for the borders when we want it to do that, because that makes for an extra dense stitch. But it's not great for when you don't want an extra dense stitch. Like on this metallic fabric that is going to be very unhappy if we put hundreds of stitches through it. So, you know, it's a give and take. I think if we do this one and then the S and then the 0 and the 9. Yeah, we'll do that. Can I do just a fucked up little circle? That's not a fucked up little... Give me a fucked up little circle. Yeah. Perfect. So I don't have to draw no circles. And then we're going to set and oh my god, no, 3.5. Stop it. Could do like 1.2. Can make it a little bit more bold and go 1.3. 1.5, that's perfect. Why? I gotta go in here, and I gotta go one. Get up here. Get up here. And then we're gonna copy, and we're gonna paste. Paste. Bring this up here. Bring this up here. Yeah. Wait, are these not the same? Silver gray. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, these were white. Guys, it lied to me. Oh. Okay, okay. Well, then we need to change these back to silver gray then, obviously, which I'm pretty sure is the brother color. Silver metallic. Silver. Forest! Stop fucking licking! Good lord, man. It's so quiet in this house right now. And he's just sitting there. And I'm about to murder him. gonna drive me nuts. Silver gray, okay. Can I select just these 4 and change them to silver gray? Is that an option? No, no, too far, too far, too much scrolling. Silver gray, all of them. Perfect. Because what really matters is that this blue shows up after all this white. It's important. It's very important. I would like to... I try to stitch all of my colors, my individual colors, at the same time. That way I don't have to change the thread 1,000 times. It can just stitch and go. Because otherwise the machine has to wait for me to stop and decide, you know. Hey, we're doing this now. You know, and it's dumb. Boop, 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 boo, doo, doo, doo. Do do do. Bah. Satin, please. Yeah, but we need you to be 1 because you're thin. Perfect. Look at that S. That's a very nice S. I got mad at a bird for chirping at work outside. Dude, sometimes animals just be making fucking noises. And I need them to stop. Sometimes it's too much noises. It's always like the most annoying sound possible too. Like it's never like a normal pretty chirp. It's gonna be what the fuck? It's annoying. I'm just annoying. Oh my god, that's great. Oh, that is beautiful. Look at him. Look at him and tell me there's a god. I made it. He made me in his own image. Alright, let's make this a little less fucked up. No, that made it worse. And then if we go... like that. That's much smoother. There we go. I do not like how close the 9 and the everything else, the ERS is. It is a little bit more bold on this, but it's not as bold as I thought it was going to be. But look at that. That's good shit. Alright, alright. And then this is... I've decided we're going to do the metallic blue fabric for this box as well. So, that'll look real pretty. Hopefully. Fingies crossed. It'll look really frickin' pretty. So now all that's left is to do the darker spots of fur, the line art, and the stitching. Which means, since it's already super late, it's taking me an hour and a half to get this far. This is fucking awful today. Good lord. We're probably just going to finish programming this one. And then I'm gonna go eat dinner, maybe. Probably. Hopefully. I do like dinner. Dinner is delicious. I like some num-nums. I don't know that I need to go that high with that, but... it's what I'm doing. Actually... I'm going to do the eyebrows separately from the hair, because the hair is going to have a direction. I wish someday I'm going to pay more for this program, because there is a version of this program where if you pay a little bit more money than the $140 fucking dollars I already paid, you can make, instead of just doing like this general direction, right, where everything's just kind of going this way, you can make it follow a curve. And I would love to be able to stitch this to where it's following a curve. Like that would be my dream right there. But alas, I don't feel like paying that much more money. Do we have a darker gray? I know there was, what was it? What was down here? Somewhere down here was a really pewter. Oh, pewter's just more of a blue gray. Alright, we'll just dark gray. Look at that. Look at that. I don't like whatever's going on there, but that's fine. So we go like this, right? Right? Oh. That's a lot better. Still not great, but that's better. And I could always give this a texture because it is hair. If I give it waves. I don't like waves. Waves 2? That's a little eh. Zigzag. Ooh, I like zigzag. That gives me like hair texture vibes, you know. Scoot that over. This is kind of, you know, as far this direction as this can really go, but whatever. Oh, no, come back here. Oh, what happened? Stop that. There we go. This little section, I think, is just going to be fucked no matter what I do. Unless I steepen this angle a bit. Yeah, that's a lot better. And then we get a nice fun texture in the hair. That makes it look... I don't know if I really like zigzag. Hold on. What about wicker? Ooh. Ooh, wicker is hair. That's straight up. I mean, I feel like that's not much different than the normal tatami stitch, but... Schnag. Waves. I didn't like waves. We know that. Scales. We don't really care for scales, because that's not... We are not doing cornrow. Cornrow is fucking awful. Chevron ain't bad. Chevron's a fun texture. Basket. Tisket a tasket. A ziggity zaggity. You know, I like zigzag. What if we just say texture? No, I like zigzag. What, baby mans? What? Oh, we gotta go potty? Alright, hold on, guys. We're gonna do a quick potty break. Quick potty break. I return with a snack. I'm just so hungry. I'm gonna eat dinner after this, that's alright. Okay. So I do need to do this eyebrow, but I need it to be below the stitching for the hair. So what I'm going to do... Because if I was smart, I would have stitched the hair after everything else, but alas, I am an idiot. Zigzag on the eyebrows. No, not length limit to Tommy. There we go. I'm gonna make the eyebrow first. Right? Rule number 1 of art. First you have to make it. If you don't make it, it'll never exist. Alright. So now it exists. And it's probably not going to make that much. Like my hopes and dreams. Exactly. Just like hopes and dreams. If you don't have them, what's the point? And then we're just going to copy, paste. Paste. There we go. Stupid thing. Flip. Swoopeth. And now we got our 2 little eyebrows. I just want to make sure that our fill settings are still what they're... God damn it! They aren't! What do you mean it's at 17? It's supposed to be at 32. Oh my god, all of them. All of them were at 17. Oh my god, look at that! Oh no. No, 32, please. 32, please. It's behind my noggin. You can't see me changing the setting, but it is behind Patch's little face here as he's yammering at you. I'm changing a number from 17 to 32 because, oh my god, stitching. Like, watch, watch. 32. That didn't really change much, but it is important. Because that is a big difference in the number of stitches that are done. Like a huge like huge. Like this piece is 476 stitches, right? We changed it to 32. Now it's 431. That's 60 stitches that were dropped for that small piece. So we're dropping the entire thing by thousands of stitches right now. Because all of the fill pieces were not at 32 for some reason. You can see some of them changing. Oh, there we go. And that changes the density. That changes how difficult it is for things to behave. Alright. Our background was the only thing that was actually at 30 fucking 2. Jesus Christ. Now this part I understand being red because there is background color that went all the way through here because we got rid of that. There's this and there's this. So that's going to be a very high density area overall. And like here shouldn't be too dense. Why is there? Oh, because there's overlap between these colors and this color right in this spot. I don't know why it's really dense right here though. Wow. Please save. Oh my god, you're right. Yes, save. Save. It is saving. Hold on. And this is why we have that button. A little snacky while we shave. Yum, yum. If there's one thing the microphone's good at picking up, it's me fucking crunching. Alright, we saved. I love that emote. Aw, that emote doesn't animate when it pops up? That's weird. Let me see if I can't. adjust this, right? Because this is the background. It's gotta think really hard. So that way it doesn't come super duper far in here. Just for that. Because, like, yeah, there's no real reason for it to come in that far into the stitching. Like, right here, there's no reason for it to be that far up the stitching. It just needs to be kind of on the inside of the general line. So now if we do... Yeah, see, that's a lot better. Over here is not bad, so I'm going to leave it. It gets to stay that way. By the end of this, there's going to be a lot of red. There's going to be, like, every outline is going to be red. Oh, but look at the boy. Look at him. Ah, he looks so cool in this mode. I'm in. Anyway. What was I doing? The dark color. Right. We're doing the dark color pieces. We're going to do down here. We're going to do this as two separate pieces for the top of the muzzle and the bottom of the muzzle, just so that way we don't see this little connector line thing that I'm going to do again. Ugh, hate that. Hate whatever the fuck that is. Get out of here. Oops, stop it. Get some help. And we're gonna fix our little... this guy here. Yeah. And then we gotta change the direction. Yeah. Cool. So we gotta go like this. And we gotta go like this. Oh man, it's doing that thing again that we don't like. Thick. That is the real problem with doing these things. Is then you get stuff like this that nobody likes. Evil. Evil, evil, evil. Evil bullshit. There we go. Oh well. There's not a whole lot I can do about it for this guy. I want snackies again, but I'm back to saltines, and I don't want saltines even with peanut butter. What if you just have peanut butter? There's nothing stopping you from grabbing a spoon and just shoveling that shit in your mouth. I have done it many times. It's fucking delicious. I will say I do want to put this piece underneath that piece, just because if they do overlap, we want it to look nice. Whoa, what's going on here? Why is nobody overlapping over here? That's a problem. I don't care how big this stitch is going to be in the future. That is a problem. Same up here. We've got this guy who's not coming in here far enough. There we go. Much better. Peanut butter with chocolate chips mixed in. I don't think they have chocolate chips. I'll be a dog struggling to get peanut butter off the roof of my mouth. You don't struggle when you have saltines? The saltines magically cure the peanut butter struggle? I was not aware of this. Nobody informed me that this was the cure to the peanut butter struggle, was getting rid of the saltines. I've just been eating it off a spoon. Like a madman. Oop, but we want. You don't even line up with your shit. Knock that off. There we go. Swoop, swoop, boop, 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 boop. Well, now I just know that ain't right. And then we're going to copy, and we're going to paste it. Thank you. And we're going to flip it. And we're going to zoom out. We're going to drag it way over here to this side. And we're just going to do that like 7 times. I struggle all the time with peanut butter on anything. I mean, peanut butter just be like that. It is how peanut butter be. Whoa! That's not what I wanted. How did we end up way up here? Move last piece. And also color. This one. Dark gray? Let me go to the fucking brother colors. Dark gray. I also wonder how this is going to show up on my embroidery machine, because my embroidery machine is a brother embroidery machine. Which means that realistically, the coding, when this goes into the machine, anything that is a brother color should show up as it shows up on here. A lot of times, if I do, say, like this color from Bro Thread, it'll show up on the machine as, like, yellow. What is wrong with you? Why are you blue? That is how I feel all the time. Wrong and blue. Anyway, get down here. This guy, we need to copy, paste, fucking flip. And he exists. Huzzah. This is where I want you to exist, right? Right. This is where I want you to exist, right? There we go. What about you? Are you where I want you to actually exist? Yeah. There we go. And this helps too, because then I'll do the little one, it'll pop over here to do the other little one, and it'll come back and do the little one, and it'll go ba ba ba. Because if it goes just ba ba ba, then it's gonna drag stitching, and we don't want that. And do I have a bug bite in my freaking elbow? That is some rude ass shit. Whose fucking spooter snuckily came out and bitted me? Amber. Is this one of your spoods? Is one of your spoods committing war crimes against me? They dare? Now I'm itchy. Some bullshit. Gonna laugh if I break out in hives again. There is the great mystery of past me, which is one time in high school, for no fucking reason, I broke out in hives. Haven't broken out in hives since. But that one time I did. If they bit you, you die. I like living, so I'll keep being not bitten. I think that's my plan. Yes, this is a triangle. This is a triangle. Dear God, there's more. No. And then we're going to make that vertical. No! Vertical! It disappeared on me. Just up and left. There we go. Except if we're going to do that, we need to move our start and stop points from the middle to one of the sides. Because otherwise we're going to have that weird divide. Much better. Look at that go. I never... Dude. Ugh. Hold on. That's better. I've apparently just been out here fucking doing whatever suits... Ah, fuck. Doing whatever suits my fancy, I guess. Good lord. No, no, that's not vertical. Try again. There we go. It's good. It's good snackies. Bitches love peanut butter. Them's is the rules. Alright. Is there anybody who is directionally challenged still? No? Cool. Because we did you guys. Yeah. You're good. These guys I know are good. You are vertical either way. So, as long as we're not horizontal. I am. We know. We know you're vertically challenged, buddy. Fill. Boink. And whoa. I did some sick moves. Yeah. Oh, what is this? What are you doing? There we go. Much better. Good shit, good shit. Yes, I get it. I get it. Slowly raise his hand, but down. I think that's... Oh, we still gotta do his fucking eyeballs. Whoopsies. Which for some reason we did way earlier here. Move last. Move last. And then we're going to actually... Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Anyway. But we're going to change these to a bright blue. Because these are going to be a darker blue. And we're going to copy paste. And we're going to drag. And we're going to flip. No, I said flip. And we're going to flip. Yeah. That's some good shit. Now what I really wish is that I didn't have to do the white again to do the eye shines. But alas, we must redo our white for our eye shines. I do have outlines on the eyeballs, but I think we're just going to not do the outlines on the eyeballs. I think that's my plan. I don't know about you guys, but that's my plan. Fill it, please. But can you fill it with white? Or silver gray, whatever floats your fucking boat. Copy paste. Put one right there. Copy paste. Put one over here, but make it smaller. Copy paste. Put one right there. Copy paste. Put one over here. Make it fucking tiny. Copy paste. Oh. No. What did I tell you about copy paste? Paste. There we go. I should have 6 of these. 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute. This guy. Copy paste. So then it goes this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And now I have a really cute little eye shine. Look at them. They're so cute. Except I forgot one. Hold on. Copy, paste. And you go right here. But funky. Copy, paste. Flip. And, oh no, I guess not flip. I lied. You don't get to be flipped. Flip. Unfunky. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Look at how cute his stupid little face is. Oh no, my stitching on my blanket's coming undone. Or at least untucked. Anyway. So all I have left now is to do all of the fucking line work. God damn it. I hate line work. I don't normally hate line work. I hate it specifically in reference to the embroidery badges because it's just a lot of... It's just a lot. So, like, first things first, I have to plan out what's going behind what. You know, like, this eyebrow line has to be behind the hairline, but so does this ear line because they're going to overlap. But this hairline has to be behind all of those. So we're going to do this first. Right, and that's going to be a satin stitch. That's going to be a much thinner satin stitch, thank you. And the color is going to be black. And now we have our first chunk, which is cool, I guess. Oh, that's not what I wanted. We're gonna go boink, 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 boink. Satin stitch. Oh my god, we're doing that thing again where we're having way too much happen in our stitching. There we go. Okay, cool. I actually want to give this one, right? Because it's got the flat ends. We don't want that. I'm going to change that nib end pointed. So it gives it like a little tapered end instead of a flat end. I could also give it rounded, but I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. And we're going to do the same thing for the rest of the hair for these little tufticles. Is that giving the nib? Oh my god. Okay, yeah, it is. Cool. Now, I don't generally do stitching thinner than this on a badge just because what ends up happening is very ugly. I think actually we're going to go like this. I'll put that one up before that one. Although if I was smart, I would just make them the same. You know, make it all one big piece. Oh well. let's see here, because now I really have to do these ear lines. Right. Satin, boink. Oop, and we're gonna go all the way up and around. Satin, there we go. Except this one we don't necessarily need the point at the end. So it'll just stop. Very nice, very nice. Which then means this one can come up, you know? Boop, boop, boop. Satin. Except it turned out a little ugly right here for whatever reason. Oh, no, not that. Stop it. Get some help. Don't worry, guys, we got this. There we go. Except this one I do want to change both the nibs. Here. Two pointed. So that way both ends of the line look nice. And I forgot to do our eyebrows. Our eyebrow one. I also need to do this ear line after this piece, but before this piece. So we're going to go like this, and we're going to go... And we're going to do this ear line. Yeah, that turned out a little wonky. Ooh, that's even worse, actually. Cool. Real glad I did that. Can we maybe not? Just a little bit? There we go. Oh, see, but now we're running into this issue where this is coming in too far. It's fine on here, because it's getting overlapped by a bunch of stitching anyway, so... But, like, on the inner parts of those ears, we don't want that. There we go. Oh. But we do want to turn off the weird nibs. We want normal and normal. There we go. And then I just need to come in and adjust this just a teeny bit. There we go. You see, now that one comes out behind it, but this one comes out in front of it, and it makes it look nicer. Rather than just randomly stitching every which way and hoping it works. So then here, we need to still go boop, boop, boop. And do we still have the weird nibs? We do. We do have the weird nibs. Normal. Normal. There we go. And that fixes that part of our hair. And now we can do our eyebrow. Perfect. I love that. It's amazing. Best eyebrow ever. There we go. That needs to come up there. We gotta copy paste. And we need to flip and put that there. Right, right. Very nice, very nice. It's looking pretty good so far. We still gotta do a couple of the ear pieces before we can go around and do the head outline here. Or any of the other outlines for that matter. Oh, shit. Oh, that's right, the outline doesn't start until... Is there an outline there? Hold on. I don't even think there is an outline. I'm just gonna... There is. It just kind of partway comes up. Okay. That's good, because I did not account for the hair on that, and that was going to be a pain in my ass. Whoop. So now we just get to boop, 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 boop. But we would like you to end with... Oh, no. You can end with a pointed, start with a normal. Thank you. Except I don't like how that ended. I like that even less. Okay, cool. Let's just... right on top. Cool. So now we're going to copy, paste this, flip, drag it a little better. There we go. And now we can do this one. Oh. Fuck. I'm so used to clicking undo in Photoshop that sometimes I do stupid shit. And that just makes things worse. There we go. Very nice. So now we just gotta do our lines. Because this line kind of just right here and right here, and then the muzzle comes over top of it. So, boop, boop. It's a very funky little stitch. Let's zoom in, because I did that from really far out for some reason. Don't ask me why, I do random shit. Random stupid shit. There we go. There we go. And that looks much better for line work. So now I'm just going to copy, paste, flip, and I'll line it up nice on this side. Hopefully we're gonna line it up nice on this side. Everybody's behaving. Cool. Although it does look like this comes up a little higher. No, this one. Thank you. I'm going to save. I'm going to save. Because this is a problem. Alright. I've got an issue with a little bit of sticky outies here. So I'm going to adjust those so that way they don't stick out so much. And then we're going to do the outlines for the eyes. Which again, I'm not going to do the outlines around the pupils because I feel like that's just going to... It's going to not look good is what that's going to do. And right here, we just need to back that up a bit. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. That went too far. I overcorrected. There we go. So now I'm going to do this, right? And then I'm going to copy, paste, flip, plop, right? Very nice, very nice. Because then this way, you can go like this. And we're going to change the nibs to pointed on both ends. I'm going to back that up a little bit. Back that up a little bit. Which would explain why this is overshooting. This needs to be normal. And no, this one needs to be normal. There we go. Oh, what do we got going on here? Much better. Okay. So now we can copy paste and we can flip it. Perfect. Good shit. Now he's got the outlines to his eyes. And we're just going to kind of pretend that those outlines continue here. Oh, shit. That's not what I wanted. That's alright. We need to do his lower muzzle first anyway. Perfect. And then we'll come back. And we're going to adjust some of these because I definitely did not get the curves I wanted on a lot of this. There we go. Like right here, this didn't do what I wanted it to do. There we go. Oh, look at that. That lined up so nice. Perfect. Cool beans. Alright. Satin stitch. Are we seriously pointed on both ends for this? We don't want that. You can make that rounded if we want. Yeah, that's nice. Rounded's good. Doesn't make a whole lot of a difference, but you know, rounded's good. I don't like that this looks like a ball sack. Oh, that's funny. All right. No, that's... There we go. Now I know I have like a layer setting on the drawing for this to be like a dark blue color for the outline, but we're going to do all our outlines in black stitching. Because again, that one was originally designed to be just an art piece and not like a badge. So this is what we're going with. Pretty good, pretty good. Not really sure what we got going on here, though. Very nice. Oh. This guy's got nib stuff happening. There we go. And that is also what I want to make sure here too, is that no weird stuff's happening. Cool! We're almost done! Because really all we have left is a little bit of this hair tuft here. And then we just got to do the outline for the box, the outline for the bodies, which I'm going to do that outline first and then do the box on top. And then it will quite literally just be the outline for the entire thing. So we're getting there. I'm going to save again just in case. Also, for anybody who's curious, since you can't see it, we are currently at 36,000 stitches. We're probably going to get close to 50 by the time this is done. Currently, it's taking its sweet time saving, though. This program doesn't normally struggle this much. There we go. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Also, if you're curious, these are the sun chips, but they're the original flavor, so they're just salt chips. I think they're pretty good. I like them. There we go. Oh, god damn it. I'm going to have to move this line to be behind the piece up here on the cheek. That is the nice thing, is that I don't have to worry about if I do draw them out of order, because I can always just go back and move the... It's kind of like layers on an art program. I really can just go and back and move them around if I have to. Like, it won't be the end of the world. But, like, see if we zoom in. I don't like seeing this on top of this line. I want it behind that line because the head is in front of the neck. So we're going to move this. Ooh. Way up here. And now the head is in front of it, which is just like a little layer of depth. It's not like a super big change or anything, but I find that just makes it look a little bit nicer, you know? Just the tiniest bit better. It's a small detail, but it's an important one to me. And I find it makes a pretty... Like, if you didn't do that overall and just went top to bottom, it would make a huge difference in how the end would look for whatever you're making, you know? Like, the end result would kind of just look meh with the stitching. So yeah, that looks a hell of a lot better. And then we can do this one. Very nice, very nice. And I think that's everything except for the box. Yeah, that's pretty much everything except for the box. So, I'm going to do the box. But, hold on, actually, I lied. I am going to do the box, but not that way. Because way up here, we already have the box. This one. we're going to copy, paste, but we're going to change it to black. And we are going to change it to a satin stitch. Although we're gonna make some of these not look so shit. Cause, whoops. Like some of these edges they just ain't it. Like, I don't know why I'm adjusting that. It's not gonna make a difference here in a second. Hold on. So I'm gonna change this from a 1mm to a 2mm, which is a decent bit thicker. Thicker than a goddamn schnicker. Oop, that's not what I wanted. I'm just going to kind of center it on its lines all the way around. Straight line, please. There we go. On the actual image line and not wherever the fuck everything ended up earlier. And now we're going to worry about these, because we do need this to be within boundary, at least. Do do do. Do 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 do. It's taking a lot of thought for it to modify that particular stitch. Apparently the diamond pattern takes a lot of brain power on the computer's part. Yeah, look at that, look at that. I like that. I really, really like that. That's nice. Good shit. Anyway, I think that's all of our outlines. Let's see. Look at all that. Look at all that red. Holy shit. So that part in particular is going to be pretty. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Just now realizing this is fucking stupid. And should not be the way that it is. That's my bad, actually. And you should be 1mm. And you should be way, way, way up here. There we go. It was crossing over the hair. That's not what we wanted. Much better. Glad I caught that now rather than later, because that would have sucked. Alright, so now we get to do the fun part. We get to copy paste this. Alright. Paste. There we go. But this is going to be a satin border. Oh, actually, didn't we want this to be the same color as the background border? I think we did. Because what color is it? This is light blue. It's the Brother Embroidery light blue. So we're going to change over to Brother Embroidery. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. And then also this was going to be a thing. Just easier said than done, good lord. Doesn't help that I'm very bad at drawing an oval. I think that's a good sand stitch. I think I just need to scale it and move it a tiny bit. Yes! Yes, guys! Yes! Also, this. We do want the parallel, we do want the zigzag. We also want it to be as wide as fucking possible. I don't know if we need 6 millimeters. 6 millimeters might be too wide. That's 5.5. Let's just do 5. 5 is usually pretty good. I can live with 5. Because that gives us a lot of wiggle room on our allowance for our... I use... it's not felt. Is it felt? It's like a really, really stiff felt that I use as the base for it to stitch onto. So that gives us a lot of allowance for where this can stitch around on this. And it's going to look a little funky because it's a lot of curves. And then we're going to copy paste. And we're going to make that one a stitch as well. But we're not going to make it as thick. We don't need 5 millimeters for this one little spot. We could probably get away with like 4. We could even go to 3.5-ish. I like that a lot better. But I do still think I want to shift it up east. Just a little bit. So where does this... See, but I don't like that this doesn't end up inside. I can show you in a second when I think so. There's this line that's part of the parallel run. It's not ending up on the inside of that for the most part, so I'm adjusting it to actually end inside of that. Because it's fine on the top half, it's the bottom half that we're having an issue with. Playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure. That's better. And then we will bring this out. Yeah. That should be good. Now, personally, I like this little one to sit underneath the big one. Just because then it adds it more like a framing of it all. Now what I don't like is what I have going on down here. You see how it doesn't cover it up on this side, but it does on the other? That's going to drive me nuts. So we're going to... Yeah, we're going to adjust it like that. And we're going to do the same thing here. And with that initial stitching. And then honestly, when I go to make the felt for the base, I'm going to cut down around this hole. So this is all going to just be stitching. But generally, from here out is going to be all that. But now we have, let me turn this transparency down, off even. And this is what he looks like. He doesn't have his blue because that's going to be stitched on fabric. That will be nice and metallic. So his ears, his nose, and his little name tag are going to have the same metallic fabric that is on the suit, which I think will be super cool. I wish I had like metallic thread for his little light or something, like that would be fucking dope. Or even just an LED there. Like that would be so cool to do. But, you know, we're probably not gonna have anything that fancy ever. I'm not that good at things to do that, so I feel like light blue, light blue, light blue, light blue. This one is like the only different blue, and it's the baby blue from Bro Thread. So we're gonna look at Brother Embroidery, and we're gonna change that to light blue, because we all know all of that's supposed to be the same blue color. The extra light blue. So we got like 3 shades of blue, a shade of white. We've got dark gray, medium gray, and black, which isn't bad. That's not bad at all. And I believe all of our colors are grouped, and all of our stitching is good. So I'm going to save. And then since that took me almost 3 hours to do, we're not actually going to stitch it tonight like I hoped. I honestly didn't think it was going to take me this long to program this, but the program was going very slow for a lot of it, which took me twice as long as it normally would for a lot of pieces. But I'm hoping to have these stitched out in time for the con. So if anybody is coming to MCFC, feel free to come by and say hi. Absolutely come by. I'm happy to do photos. I'm happy to do hugs. I don't know how he's going to feel about hugs, but he'll be happy to say hi and probably do pictures. We'll be wandering around at MCFC, so hopefully you'll also get to see how this badge has turned out if you are there. So, yes, Quinn, I'm going to see you. I'm going to find you. I will find you. Anyway, so let's look at the little look-see-loo. Oh, hold on. It can't think about the look-see-loo. It doesn't know what to looks for it. Oh dear, there's so much stitching, it can't even play it. Oh. Oh no. Oh. Hold on, let me see if I can't open it. What happens if I open this file again and try to get it to play it for us? Because this will show us the exact stitch order that this is going to go through. The problem is it's not loading, which we do have a total of 43,000 stitches, which is not the most amount of stitches I've ever had to do, actually. It is actually a pretty low number for a badge. This is a 5x7 badge. Technically, a little smaller. It's really more like a 4x6.5. But because this is a 5x7 frame. So this is one of our medium badges. We do minis, but the mediums usually do about 50,000 stitches, which he has a lot less because he has these gaps that aren't going to be stitched. They're just going to be fabric. If we had done these, we'd probably be a bit closer to 50,000. And he also doesn't have a lot of color, so I didn't have to do a bunch of pieces with more overlaps. But generally, we do about 50,000 on a 5x7 badge. A mini badge will do about 25,000-ish. And the 6x10s, the huge badges, which I can actually show you for reference. Yeah, here we go. That's the difference in size. 5x7, 6x10. And then, of course, we've got our teeny tiny little 4x4 mini badges. So the minis do about 20 to 25,000. The mediums, the 5x7s, do about 50,000, give or take. And then the larges, the 6x10s, generally do about anywhere from 60 to 100,000 stitches. I try to keep it under 80,000, even if it has a lot of details, because when you get up that high for that many square inches, it's just a really dense badge. But they still, like, I have a badge of patch. And most of it is not stitched at all. Like, I'd say half of it is just the backing felt, because it's supposed to look like a ramen noodle cup, and I feel like that felt, being so stiff, feels very styrofoamy. So I left it completely unstitched for a lot of the badge. And it still had somewhere around like 60, 70,000 stitches. So the really big badges do a lot of embroidery. But this one's not a whole lot. I'm not really sure why it's not wanting to play the preview. That's actually pretty odd for it to do that. Unless maybe... Oh! It's because the design was hidden! Don't worry, guys. Guys, I figured it out. Turns out I'm just a dumbass. We can watch it stitch it out now. I'm actually going to speed it up a little bit. This is way faster than the machine would embroider it, but this is just so I can do a quick skedaddle. I can actually probably show you. This is probably like the realistic speed for how this would stitch out. And it would probably take it a good half an hour of stitching, not including the time that it takes for me to actually swap out the colors, because my machine only does one color at a time, and you have to manually swap colors. It's a single needle embroidery machine. So it has a large embroidery space, but I have to do a bunch more work to actually embroider these badges from start to finish. It's a lot to do a badge, but it's really fun, and I like doing them. So we're going to speed this back up so it can do all the work really fast. Look at that. I love that. It doesn't look like diamonds from here, but that's probably just because we're zoomed out a lot. Yeah, because we zoom in and suddenly it's diamonds. Oh, my bad. I left the screen so it did stuff. There we go. But this will show us, like, there's kind of a weird thing happening here. I'm not really sure if that's actually... It's not actually going to show up. Cool. Apparently it got down here and then jumped up to the top. Interesting. And it's very, very interesting that it did that. But yeah, the way we have to stitch an embroidered badge, I always find funny, because you got to kind of, like, stitch it from the back to the front. You got to think a bit more three-dimensionally than you do on Photoshop. The layers really, really do matter here. So, like, this is kind of creepy, right? Like, we got all this, just this. Like, it's just the essence of his eyeballs. And now he's got a mask. Like, he looks like he's evil Batman or something. So, it's kind of funny. And this is why we have that line here, is because of how it's stitching all the way across. Which is interesting. It's really interesting to see how the program has to think out the actual stitching. I find it very satisfying to watch this. Like, look at that. Look at that. He has one eyebrow and some hair. Oh, that's funny. And then, like, slowly but surely, he comes together a bit. That is the one thing that makes me sad, is that I have to go back and do the white twice, because there's the white in his eye, like the outer whites of his eyes, and also the eye shines. But that's always something I have to do for a badge, and I always forget about it. But that's okay. We'll live. Oh, wait a minute. This is why we do this. This is why we double check. I need to double check that all of these lines are just doing an edge run and nothing more. That's fuck. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Because what we don't want is for them to be too heavy and too dense. And if we can take off extra stitches, the better. Okay, so they don't have anything more than an edge run. Honestly, we could probably turn off the edge runs just because these stitches are so thin. but the edge runs help the border hold its shape. So I like it. Yeah, I'm actually finishing up now. You got here just as I was about to sign off, buddy. I gotta go make dinner. I finally finished coding this badge, so I'll probably get it stitched after dinner tonight by myself without you guys. You don't get to watch. Haha. Sucks to be you. Anyway. You came back just in time. I never left. I fell asleep. Even better. You should probably also go get a snack, buddy. I think it's dinner time. So I'm going to make some pork chops and stuff. But for now, it's saving. We're saving it just in case. Let's go raid somebody. Cause I don't know if Jay's streaming today. Jay might be streaming in an hour. We kind of started our stream a bit early, and I'm really hungry, so I'm not gonna be staying. But Jay might be streaming a bit later. Is there anybody I'm following streaming? Guys, I'm annoyed. There's nothing good to watch streaming. There's a lot of yarn. There's a lot of 3D printers. Kind of makes me mad. I get a little bit annoyed at all the 3D printer streams that are on here. Oh, and it's gone. We don't get to raid nobody, Twitch says. Hold on. Let's go like this. I wonder why. Alright, let's go like this. That's much better. Ooh, here we go. We're gonna look at Alveus Sanctuary. They are Animal Ambassador live cams, including the wolf hybrids Awa and Akela, I believe is how you pronounce that. A carpet python named Noodle. There's a crow. There's a couple crows. There's Abbott and Coconut. That's cute. Pasture the mule. Tico and Miley the macaws. And Mia the African Grey, currently on the live cameras for this sanctuary. So we're going to go see what they're up to. I think that would be a fun stream to watch for a bit. While we wait for Shay Griffin to get online, if they end up getting online later. But we shall skedaddle, and I will hopefully see everybody at MCFC. If not, I'll probably not stream again until like Wednesday next week, because I'm going to be dead from the con. So, bye guys!